hurt to use it. The truth is, you're useless. What? I'm ruthless. Yeah, I've proved this. Keep capping, I'ma leave you toothless. What? You're so dumb to choose this. Yeah, ain't going outside. I make it work. I'm in my bag. That's every purse on my back. Is that your girl? She got it. She make it twerk. And why you mad? I got her first. You say you rap. You got a verse. I say that's whack. You probably hurt. Back to the lab. You gotta search. On my country commando. Yeah. Pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, don't pretend. No, think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my tent. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it.
Why are these boys so stupid? Counting me out, now I'm counting my money. I'm probably gon' cop me a new wrist. Y'all gon' think I'm a nuisance. New sound, know me, who this? Yep, I made some improvements. Me and the gang been bowling. Your shawty gon' think we the coolest. LSA say we got clips. We bout to make it a movie. I make a hit I can't miss. Damn, the charts might sue me. The way I be stacking my chips, probably the bank gon' sue me. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid, cause your mans can't fool me.
On my country commando, pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. No, think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my tent. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it.
That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide in with the rhymes that make the dimes all close their eyes and fantasize. Young Divine calling their phone number. Girl, you know I love you. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats on stages for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young black successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, Air Force, GG Bet, and ESEA.
Boy, oh boy, these two names in the server, it must be my lucky day. Astralis taking on the Faze clan right here, ready to go. And of course, so are we. One best of three to rule them all, at least between these two teams. Welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 11, everybody. My name is Trace, this is Harry, and that's his friend Hugo. We brought them all into the studio today to bring this one full circle, or at least help to paint a picture and at least give you guys a great matchup on hand. The ESL Pro League Season 11 has gotten to Stage 2, and that does mean that things have really heated up here. And at least for these two teams, this is a dire situation.
Yeah, both of them sitting 0-2. This is not the place that I think, especially Astralis, expected to be, right? They had a slow start to the Pro League. They lost their opening game. They bounce back. They win every single one, and they go through their group in first place. Here in Stage 2, things aren't looking so pretty.
No, right? I mean, they've fallen in both series thus far, picking up one map in both of them. Kind of same situation Faze have been in. Faze obviously as well. They've either lost 1-2 in a series or won it 2-0 thus far in the Pro League.
Faze
so
classic.
yeah, will that be set to continue here versus Astralis? We're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, and the weirdest part to me is when I look at this matchup and I look at these two teams, I'm seeing that Astralis, has obviously 16-0'd Faze at one point, albeit a little while ago and in a totally different country. But now we're going to have that opportunity to hear from the country of Astralis. And by that, I mean the Danish man that is known as Zonic. He is with us again in the studio. Papa Danny, what's up, my friend?
Oh, tough times, obviously, especially here in the second group stage. But yeah, we'll just have to keep grinding.
Yeah, it has not been the best go at it for you guys. You took an L to Fnatic, you took an L to Mousesports. What did you guys learn on the back of that?
Yeah, we lost against NaVi and Fnatic, and I think it could have gone both ways, but it was I think it was well deserved for both Fnatic and NaVi, and I think that we had some issues without us too in both matches, and yeah, we don't have much time to work on it, so we'll have to have to adjust really quick, and we have tried to, but luckily for us in the video, it didn't go that way. So I can, if you haven't talked about it, there's no Dust 2 today.
Oh, okay. Well, no spoilers, Danny. Thank you so much for that. And I'm sorry, I got it mixed up there. I really did get it mixed up. I was looking at the Faze side of things, so that's my fault. But yeah, either way, it's been a rough go at it for both sides. Is there anything that you take away from that when you look at the Faze clan and what they, seemingly run parallel with you guys with the second stage?
Yeah, I think it's tough to say. I think it's a tough group, obviously, and there's no easy opponents. We haven't showed up. We just have to believe in ourselves, anyways. For us, it's one match at a time, and today we are going to go up against the Faze clan, and hopefully, hopefully they're more affected by the whole situation that both teams are in than we are. So hopefully, have the mental strength to come back and win this match, and then we'll see. We saw NaVi in the previous group stage also go 0-2 and then come back and qualify somehow. So we have to believe until it's mathematically impossible for us to qualify.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about having to believe. Obviously, being down bottom of the group 0-2, not really like a spot we're used to seeing Astralis in. This is a name that's been synonymous with success in the CS scene for some time. I'm wondering, being in this kind of position, is this maybe like adding some pressure in a negative way, or do you think the fact that these series are kind of must-wins for you guys, maybe that's gonna spur you on? How's kind of the pressure of this situation felt in the Astralis camp right now?
We have obviously talked about it. We spent an hour talking after each game, and yeah, right now it's not going in our way. I think it's close matches still, and I think that we are still playing somewhat decent. We're not falling completely through that we saw in Katowice against NaVi. So small things that could have gone our way, and then we might have won one of the two matches. So I think it's obviously disappointing for a team like us, but I also think that we need to take some positives and still believe, because it's not over yet.
Zonic, you in some ways have written the book in Counter-Strike, and in other ways quite literally written a book on Astralis. We've got a lot of Pro League fans and viewers at home right now, quarantined and waiting for some reading material. I'd love to hear you pitch this to the viewers and you know, give a brief synopsis of what to expect in your book.
No spoilers though, Danny, please.
No, that's
Yeah, I won't spoil anything. No, it's a short story. It's a book about it's in two parts, twofold. So the first part is about my life and the way that I got introduced with Counter-Strike and my career in 1.6, and then the second part is me transitioning into a coach and some of the things that we do in Astralis, how we work, and some of the hot episodes or some of the hot chapters is also featuring some of the historic parts of Astralis, people or players leaving, and people getting obviously a bit frustrated and tilted. So yeah, contract negotiations, all these kind of stuff, but also some of the good parts in us winning our fourth majors and how that felt. So there's a lot of good stuff, both from the old school, the time back in the days when we were playing in clans rather than teams, and then obviously now here in big arenas.
Yeah, big arenas. And I mean, putting a book out there is something that I don't know many people in my life that have ever written a book. So on top of that, can you just tell the viewers at home where to get the thing?
So unfortunately, right now it's only in Danish. It is being translated into English. That's the second move. We haven't. A lot of Russian fans have asked me to translate into Russian. That's not on the plan right now, but during these Corona times, it has been a bit difficult, but it should come out very, very soon.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on it. I'm looking forward to the English version personally. I don't know if I'd do very well trying to read the Russian one, but you know what? Perhaps there's a chance for that in certain times. Hey, Danny, thank you so much. We're going to let you get into the game, all right?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, easy as that. We got the book plug out of the way, really got the Astralis plug out of the way, but there is a little bit of tiptoe in there, not from Danny, but the idea that both of these teams find themselves very much against the wall at this point.
Yeah, you know, you can't read too much into you know, just a short conversation, but it didn't feel like the confidence was there. Zonic certainly seemed a little bit deflated in some of the results that Astralis have fielded. And yeah, okay, I can't blame him, right? As you said, Harry, this is not a position where we are typically used to seeing Astralis 0-2 in the group, are ready to get eliminated, ready to lose their chance to get to that next stage. I mean, this is a scary spot to be in.
Yeah, you know, I think on top of that, I think, you know, the response from Zonic is understandable. Astralis, they're not like a team where they try and, you know, like blow smoke with kind of like feigning confidence, feigning the reality that maybe things aren't looking good. This is a team that like to be honest and get things out in the open, you know? And we've kind of heard this from other teams. Like, think about Swole Patrol, and we were talking to them, and they were talking about the dynamic between someone like Freakazoid and Cooper, and how, yeah, look, there you go.
My man. Man, you've been working out, or? Oh, sorry.
And how, you know, like, in amongst that dynamic, it's good because, you know, Freakazoid and Cooper kind of do just clash sometimes and air it out very openly. Whereas, you know, you see in some teams, it does feel like they kind of, you know, twist reality a bit, like feigning some confidence, and it all just seems like it's kind of, you know, hot air, but not really like, not really the results to go alongside it. And I think Astralis, it's more just them kind of coming to the reality here that this is a pretty poor showing for what we're used to seeing from this, like, formerly, you know, Astralis era, best in the world for a long, long while. And they're looking to keep that. And I think, you know, it makes a lot of sense because the path to maintaining that isn't through, you know, lying to yourself that you're doing a good job here right now.
And that's, you know, psychology from Harry Russell. Didn't expect that on this broadcast, but there's always a treat here. Speaking of which, a treat that hasn't been so favorable for the side of the Danish would be that of Astralis, running through both the group stages and up to this point. And as you can tell, this stat line is going to be outlining that. Let me just try to hold it in my hands here. Kind of impossible. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you know, I mean, early on in the group stages, we saw that they came in actually like with a loss on the opening day, right, for Astralis. So we were already a bit like, oh, what the hell? But then they recover it very, very quickly, and they started to get back to being the Astralis that we know and love. Here in the second stage, we've been waiting for that to come into fruition. You know, they haven't hit the ground running yet, and truthfully, it kind of has to start today. The chances of them still making it to that the playoffs rather is very, very small. Suddenly, it's out of your your hands if you lose this series, and you're relying on other matchups kind of falling in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. It is mathematically possible for the team that loses this series to still go through, but like you said, it is so small mathematically that it's almost unrealistic to expect it.
Slim chances,
yes,
is the way I would probably paint that.
Gotta
Either
get the
way,
win.
let's talk a little bit about the FaZe clan. And obviously, they've painted themselves into some slim chances as well right here. They're not sitting as pretty, and neither are Astralis, which is another part of this matchup that makes it very interesting to me, at least.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, FaZe, their opening games have been against Fnatic and NaVi in this group, so certainly not easy teams to find. Of course, there are no easy teams to beat in this group, Trace, so I guess that much is clear. And Astralis coming up as their third matchup, yeah, just keeping on the streak of best teams in the world, I guess.
Now, we're going to be bringing in a legend of the game. Now, this guy, he's pretty much seen it all, done it all. He's probably hit every shot that you can imagine. And, of course, in this server, he's going to have some shots carved out for him. It's that of Nico. We do have him on the line. He's joining us, and I love what you've done with the place here, Nico.
I love it as well, man. How are you guys doing?
We're doing all right. How about yourself? How are you finding these times?
I'm good. Not much, though. Just sitting at home, playing CS, grinding all the time, working on the... like my brand as well, streaming a lot.
Okay.
Just basics.
Well, let's start right there then. Where can people find you on Twitch, just so we can let them know?
Twitch.tv/Nico. The
Wow.
best channel right there.
And I couldn't have sold it better myself. Thank you so much for that. So let's just rewind a little bit. Last night, you guys played this team. They're known as Mousesports, and there was one pivotal moment there. We didn't really get to hear from the comms of your side, but I want to know what was going on when they kind of slipped that defuse in there in upper of Nuke.
Yeah, I was a bit confused. I think like they got a bit lucky because 3 of our guys were like really low, so like we didn't want to die to C4, and we just started like running away. And like the worst thing is like we kind of thought they were like half buying, like we didn't know they had a full buy, so we are like they're gonna save 100% those guns that they have because they saved the 3 guns for previous round. So we are like they have to save, like there's no chance that, like they're gonna go for it. And yeah, I think the biggest issue was just that like 3 of our guys were low, and we really had to run away so we could save our guns. And unfortunately, Cold was a bit unlucky because he hit the diffuser through the wall. If he like hit the headshot there, we would have still won the round. And if he would have won the round, like I'm pretty sure we would have won the half as well. Like the whole half would have turned differently because they would have to done 2 ecos. And like once we get the T side going, we are really strong there.
Nico, you're taking on Astralis today. Now, they're a team known to not necessarily buy up the Krieg on the T side. You yourself have been very vocal about the Krieg in its current meta, in its current state. I'd like to hear from you, though. If you could nerf the Krieg, what changes would you make and why?
I guess like the biggest change I would do is remove the scope 100%, just because it makes you just like kind of having an op as well. Sometimes even more powerful than op because you can just sit and like hold angle, and like you can still one tap and you can like kill, like you can get multiple frags like zoomed in, which is the biggest problem. I think even like the accuracy I would not necessarily change, but I still think that's like it's really easy to like spray with the Krieg. Like it's very easy to control it. So like I would just try to like remove the scope and make the price a bit higher, I would say.
Yeah, well, another thing I was wondering, Nico, is like, you know, you look at this FaZe squad, and you guys are a team of legends of Counter-Strike, right? And I think for a lot of people, they've always wanted this FaZe squad to succeed for that reason. Now, obviously, you guys have made a couple of changes. I want to say recently, but maybe recently being the wrong word. Olaf moving into more of like a lurk role, Brokey taking up the main AWP. And it feels like, you know, we've been seeing this improvement now. What do you think, you know, still needs to be refined or honed in on for this FaZe Clan squad to start to produce the results that we want it to?
Yeah, we are in really like hard situation right now. We are losing way too many close games, which is the biggest issue right now for us. Like if we would have won some of the games like 2-0 instead of losing them 2-1, like in the close fashion, like our confidence would be like way higher, but we still keep losing those close games. It's really frustrating for us. We don't know like what to, like, we're just like in a like very hard like situation right now, but like we are just playing way better CS than we did before. We're having Brokey on up and Nolo back on lurking. So we found the way how we want to like play and approach the game. It's just that like we have to work on those kind of close games that like we have been struggling to close it out. So we are like trying our best to just manage to fix like that close games, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be looking for when we go forward. Nico, I want to know if there's anything else you have to say on the, on the side of FaZe Clan, considering the implications of this game, what this game means itself in terms of the ESL Pro League Stage 2.
Yeah, I guess like this game's gonna decide everything for us. If we win, we have a chance to qualify. If we lose, we don't. It's very simple math, I would say, and we are feeling confident going against them, especially the last time losing 60-0. We're gonna take the revenge. So yeah, it's do or die basically.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna agree with this one that Astralis are definitely beatable right now.
Yeah, 100%. Like they're not looking they're not playing their best CS right now, and we are kind of still playing good, but still losing the close games. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be as close as any other R game in this group, and yeah, I'm just hoping that this time we're gonna manage to close it out.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna look for. Thank you so much for your time, Nico. I can't wait to talk to you again, my friend.
Same. Have a good night, guys.
Bye. All right, we're gonna try to have a good night, but to do that, we gotta have some Counter-Strike being played. You could tell Astralis, you could tell Faze are the two teams in the server. That's exactly what's going on here. We know now, due to clues that Zonic has given us, that Dust 2 will not be played. Imagine that. So, let's go a little bit further here. Let's start with the discussion around Oppers, and we've got to talk Device, we got to talk Brokey.
Yeah, I mean, Device made a tweet recently, kind of a jokey one, but it stated saying, my inconsistencies, I am consistent at being inconsistent online, or something in that vein, and that has shown through. Yeah, Device has had his fair share of struggles in the Pro League. At the same time, he's had great performances. He's had, well-beating matches for himself and in being an individual. So, hopefully he brings his A game today. Of course, he is taking on Brokey that Harry mentioned recently, started to pick up the the AWP role primarily over the likes of Nico and Olof. We see Nico take it on Dust 2, but as said by Zonic, that's not going to be a map today.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of those players, such as Nico. We're talking about playmakers at this point. At least that's the next one I want to highlight. I've got Nico over here, and the other one I'm going to select is Dupree. I feel like this guy's been tearing it up in the server. Anybody want to beg to differ?
No, I mean, I think I can only agree with you there. Dupree has been like a real shining light for Astralis. He's been the go-to guy to keep an eye on here in the Pro League. And 9 times out of 10, he will be delivering in these matches, even if the rest of the gang aren't. I think another man who's worth an honorable mention is obviously Xyp9x as well. Like, that he's good. He's always in these clutch scenarios, and we still see him winning them a hell of a lot here in the Pro League. So what he brings to the table, I feel like, is instrumental as well.
What about over when we start to talk about the maps, guys? We know it's not Dust 2, right? That's what Zonic told us, so it must be true. Where do you guys think this one's going to end up, at least in the first 2?
That's a hard one. I feel like Inferno could come through as a pick for Astralis. At the same time, it's like bouncing between Inferno and Nuke. Where do Astralis want to go with that? Because we know FaZe have been really good on Nuke as of late. And Astralis, they have been beaten on this map before, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, I was thinking we were going to get a Nuke as well, thrown into the pool. I'm imagining there's going to be no Mirage today. I think we'll see like Mirage and Vertigo get banned initially, right? The insta-ban's gone. Then obviously we know Dust 2 isn't coming through, so I imagine that's going to be a ban from Astralis that comes in later on. As for the FaZe clan guys, yeah, I think we could have Nuke and Inferno.
I feel like FaZe picked Nuke in the series, honestly, because what else do they go to that they're going to be better than Astralis on, right? Like, Overpass, Astralis have quite the history there.
Yeah, Inferno, I feel like maybe an Overpass third map could be on the cards.
We haven't had much Overpass here in the Pro League, so I would welcome it personally. But yeah, I mean, we've been falling into the realms of Dust and Nuke pretty much every single series, and a lot of Train as well. So it'd be nice to kind of stray away from Dust. I'm a bit bored of it myself.
And that is kind of the plan. I mean, I like Dust 2. I don't know about the rest of you. I also like the 2 teams in the server, which does create an interesting dilemma when you think about who's going to win this matchup, but moreover, what happens on the outset of this matchup, because we do know that these 2 teams are fighting pretty much for their lives within Stage 2, within the lives of the ESL Pro League Season 11. So I look at this when I think, like, who's better? Obviously, you got to look at some of the traditional way that Astralis approaches the game and some of the ways that they've actually broken ground and changing the way it's all approached. Now, you look at FaZe Clan, you think, oh, there's some sharpshooters, blah, 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 blah. This is going to be a tough one. I don't even know if I have the heart to pick between the 2, but I do have the heart to go ahead and run these map videos and actually take a look as to what maps to expect. We've kind of forecasted it. We've kind of played around with the idea over here. But furthermore, where do we think we're going?
Oh, well, I mean, let's find out. I think Nuke, Train, Inferno, these are all maps that I think are going to be middle ground maps, at least for this series. But I want to know what FaZe are picking. Yeah, it is Nuke. That has been one that they've looked really good on as of late. And Astralis have had their struggles.
Now I'm thinking maybe we do get that Overpass. Ooh, there's the pick actually from Astralis. They're going to take it there right away. That's interesting.
Inferno
this
third,
could leave
surely.
us with an Inferno third map decider, but no, it's gone. So we might be heading to the train yards, and that looks to be the case. Nuke, Overpass, and Train. You know, we got 2 out of 3, I guess. Not that bad for the VO. Yeah, you know, it's
split right down the middle.
Split right down the middle, exactly, Trace.
Yeah, I think this is a worrying series, though, right? Like, we talk about inconsistencies, we talk about star power versus brain power, and FaZe certainly had that star power. I feel like if Astralis come into today and they're not looking warmed up, they're not looking ready to go. Remember, this is a late game. It is 11 or 10 p.m. rather right now for these guys. So, yeah, if they're not looking good, if they're not warmed up, FaZe could just run over them individually. That's not where I'm leaning, though. I'm still going to predict Astralis for this series.
Yeah, you know, Trace.
Whoa. Slow down the predictions, guys.
I was going to say, you asked who was better. Right, you asked who is better out of these two teams, and I think a big talking point is that, in my eyes, like fundamentally, the way that these teams were created is just polar opposite. In Astralis, it's all about having 5 players contributing to being the best team in the world. Whereas in FaZe, you've got a bunch of legends who are like cherry-picked to make this squad, but you know, they were the best players from their teams in their day, and now this is a team trying to take that top spot.
Well, now is the time where you put your money where your mouth is with an actual prediction segment brought to you by GG.bet. Of course, GG.bet/EN/betting. That's a totally different thing. Also, some considerations here to Rushley and how he got 11, but we'll get into that.
Who's keeping track of these? That's what I want.
I don't know. They might be a little more challenged at math than I am. Let's talk to you, Hugo. I want to get your prediction here, and I want it to be solid.
I'm going for Astralis. I think it's a safe bet. It's the easy one. You know, FaZe certainly have that upset potential. Astralis are beatable. We've already learned that in the Pro League so far, but if you want to go for a safe pick, you always got to go Astralis, Trace.
Somehow, Harry has got himself another win there. What's up?
I'm going to put FaZe just to be different to Hugo to try and keep this lead up, and also because it's online, and I think the individuals are actually going to matter a hell of a lot here. And I think for FaZe, they've been pretty consistent on the individual level, right? We can always count on a couple of players to show up when it matters most, and I haven't had those same feelings for Astralis outside of Dupree.
Yeah, which is a scary thing. Even, like, to that even be said out of your mouth is just kind of weird to me. I don't even know if I like the way that sounds. So I kind of have to look at this and kind of on the same wavelength here with you, Harry, and that FaZe Clan should potentially put this one away. But this is Astralis, for goodness sakes. This is really where they can shut this down and end this right now for FaZe Clan. All right, fine. FaZe Clan it is, and we're going to be jumping into Nuke, the first map of the series. Astralis on the other side. Who will be coming out on top? Let us know. You can hashtag ESL Pro League or EPL Mailbag.
Let's get it on. As we head into this first one, it's FaZe's pick, and they start on the T side. Not exactly where they want to be, but they got to make the most of a bad situation. Both will by running up the hop, but Dupree with 2 taps, and Magist blind finds a third from above. Oh my, this round is over. It's going to be Astralis, you think, but quick trades right back from FaZe keep us interested. Olaf and Nico destroying 2 members of Astralis. That lobby flank gone, but a bomb under the control of Astralis in this A site.
Yeah, and that's what's going to make this so tricky. Nico trying to maneuver up into heaven, but Astralis are more than aware that this is a possibility. You know, they've got all 3 players in upper, and this is a team that for the longest time was the best in the world. They're not about to fall prey to getting snuck on through heaven, but they might be about to fall prey to getting snuck on through main. As I say that, Glaive has figured it out and pieced this all together. And he's already lined up this one. Nico gets dropped by Dupree, and he's going to follow up. 4 kills from Dupree in the pistol. And I'm going to actually go ahead and hop on the Astralis hype train.
Too late, Harry.
I let you change prediction the other day, and then you changed back, and I let you do both. And, you know...
I don't recall anything of the sort. All I recall is you picking FaZe and GG.bet. Well, they're not picking FaZe, they're picking Astralis.
Well, you know... That's fine.
It's fine, Harry. You can flip it, but as long as I can flip it after the first map,
I believe in FaZe, man. I believe. I always did. I didn't try and change.
A good captain goes down with his ship, Harry. Sadly, you are not good nor a captain, nor do you own a ship. Get it together.
Wow, yeah, you just tore my whole lifestyle apart, really. I guess you're right.
Wow. We're going to see what these pistols can accomplish for FaZe, and Rain specifically. He gets tagged in the yard. It's only Glocks, though, so... bit of a null and void round. Any kills for FaZe is going to be profitable. Astralis don't want to lose their own economy, though, so playing safe, scouting. That hit for Device through the wall. And he will finish off the job. Double nade for Magisk as well, just to spice it up. Brokey, come on, come on. There it is.
Yeah, so Astralis going to find that conversion, and now the buy-in from FaZe. Going to be rifles out in full force here for the T side. Are we going to see any Kriegs? The answer is a resounding no from FaZe.
what could be more scary than giving a bunch of Kriegs to Astralis in their CT side of nuke? I can think of a few things, but that's up there on the list.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? I feel like for a team like FaZe, we already know they have their grievances with the Krieg, and some teams have just elected to keep pulling it out, but we know Astralis are one of the ones that don't. And so, you know, maybe, like, I feel like in FaZe's shoes in this sense, you know you're not going to get gifted any Kriegs over in the second half of this game. So maybe the thinking is they just don't want to be the ones to throw that into play, you know? Astralis are never going to get to touch the gun unless you give it to them.
Well, out towards a yard, FaZe start to maneuver. They've got those deep smokes that allow them to walk close in towards Mini. This might be that top site play for FaZe in this round. Just is watching for it though. The spam, however, could leave him up on the chopping block if he has to get a reload in. FaZe can time the re-peek off the back of that. Glaive has a great position, but Rain might have his number as he walks in on the back line. Timing is everything. Rain undecided as to which side he will find himself, and he might find himself dead if he waits too long. Device gets him from hell with a scout. And now Astralis at 5-on-3. FaZe have lost their site. It's all about splitting open the A site. Magisk will fire back with the M4 for 2. Nice trade from Cold. He gets a second as well. He has the time to make this one work, but not the bomb currently. It's dropped in the site. Flank out. Main will be enough for Astralis. Glaive. Main will be enough for Astralis. Glaive's first rifle round from FaZe finds nothing as they get decked outside. And they try and trade their way into an A play, but Astralis are going to have the numbers to contain it.
Yeah, damn good try from Cold Zeret, but ultimately not enough. And a 3-0 lead now gracing the board for Astralis. It's a partial investment now from FaZe Clan. As they look to get back in the swing of things.
He's really swinging at this point, though. No 3 start is not ideal for the FaZe Clan. In fact, even having pistols in this round is probably not part of the agenda. Nora's getting sprayed through the smoke by Magisk. It's going to be Rain that falls, and that seems a little unfair. However, that's the way it goes sometimes.
It's a little unfortunate. I think they got stuck on each other trying to get through the door. Rain and Brokey there were just stood side by side, and at that point, it's almost hard for Magisk to not get a kill spraying the smoke. So, yeah, 2 players down now for FaZe. Bit of an unfortunate situation in the smoke. Olaf has managed to sneak down through the vents. Magisk is wrapping in from behind and won't see him. So this is going to be an unknown factor for now, but you can see they're aware of the potential of someone being in the back line. Magisk, I think he thinks he's done a good enough job clearing down here. And there's still a couple of cobwebs he might look to try and clear on up before all is said and done. It's actually Zipnix to get the job done. They do get one more man down the vent. And Cold Zeret, looking to become the men with vent, does drop Magisk. Now Cold swings the door wide and he gets dropped as well. 4-0 lead for Astralis.
And at this point, I can't believe for some of you to have picked FaZe in this one. I just can't.
Harry touches switch after the pistol round as well, so, you know.
Did he really?
Yeah, Trace, you know, we're both just kind of jumping ship on this one.
It's kind of just you jumping ship, and I'm just going to stay on the one I was on and just kind of go down with it.
See,
that's what a captain does.
See, what you'll do, yeah, I mean, we've already gone this way.
We actually have already, yeah.
What Trace likes to do is he lets us do the predictions first, and then as the game leads in, he'll give this big spiel about, oh, so Astralis, man, they obviously, how can they lose? But then FaZe, they're incredible too. And then the game starts, you just don't hear a prediction.
Yeah,
so
and guess what? I get a point for it every time.
Yeah.
So, speaking of getting points, right now it's going to be Astralis who continue to do just that. Magisk, light him up. He's got 2 frags. The server Dupree's going to have that third, and that's just going to leave Cold Zeret and Rain. Whoa. So far, so good, but that was short-lived. Good trade there from Rain to take down Glaive, but it's all in vain.
This is a worry for FaZe. Astralis are looking so warmed up,
primed,
so ready to go. Yeah, pristine, clicking.
And this is the scary thing as well, right? This is now like giving me some real memories of how that first group began, right? With Astralis, with a very, very slow start, then coming to life and starting to go toe-to-toe versus teams that were, like, on paper, better than the opposition that had already beat Astralis, right? And this is kind of looking like that again, because this is already looking like a much more complete Astralis CT side. Now, obviously, still early days. Investment back in the following round for FaZe. There's always a chance they can get this one back under control.
I mean, do you remember the FaZe Mouse game last night? That is one thing that's sitting in the back of my mind right now. FaZe got 4 rounds in that map. And obviously, they picked it, you know, in this series against Astralis. And we know what Astralis have accomplished on this map before. FaZe managed to get 2 rounds on the T side back when they faced Mousesports, and they, well, obviously ended 16-4, so not much in that second half either. So they can't afford to let this continue, but that's a great shot from Nico, turning the tide in this round. It's an eco for FaZe with half bite. They're going to get Deviso in the yard, the spray not connecting for the final kill. Nico's grabbed the gun, and he's going to get out of there as well. We'll give that to a man with more health. Rain taking the weapon. Nico will keep the Deeg, but we know he can be lethal even with the low health. Right now, as a rotate coming down lower, we've got Dupree crawling up the stairs to try and spot outside, get that information that Astralis so desperately require.
And an idea of pressuring a ramp seems to be on the cards. So far, it's Zipex who's having all the fun. He's not going to be alone. Glave's going to get involved as well, and this has not gone well again for FaZe Clan. Yeah, M4 and Scout. Ooh, double peek, though. That does something, and so does Brokey. Kit drop, we can see from the X-ray where it was, but now we see them moving into the site, into the lower site. It's FaZe Clan who are going to get this bomb almost planted, and then Majest just says, nah, you guys have had your fun. You did it in ramp room, you're not doing it in lower site.
The confidence plays for Astralis, man. Look at these re-peaks. Like, I was just about to say they're playing really smart on ramp and then they get wrecked, right? We see Zipnix get a kill, drop lower, Glaive peaks hell, get a kill, retreat. Don't allow these trades for FaZe. Don't allow them back into the round. Now, obviously, 2 Astralis players come back up from lower to re-aggress after Glaive takes a kill, and FaZe kill them both. So, bit of an awkward one there, but it doesn't matter when Majest swings the door open and drops both players in the B bomb site.
I'm curious to hear your two's thoughts on this, but my opinion with this FaZe squad is always that for a team that consists of so many big names in the server, does it sometimes not feel like they play the game almost too methodical? Like, I feel like they could try and get a bit more crazy with it on like an individual basis.
I feel like you're going to
alone.
get punished against Astralis if you play like
No,
that.
like, fair enough, okay, versus Astralis. But even in that Mousesports game last night, like, it was a lot of these slow creeping defaults that then try and end up in a play. And it's like, even there where you're 2-on-2, like, Magis does just take the ballsy play of running into this site and trying to get the job done.
No, I see what you mean in the argument that, you know, oh, FaZe, you know, in theory don't have a weak player, right? Like, because everyone, the lowest skill player is still so high up, you know? That they could just play this aggressive trading game on the T side. But, you know, I feel like the meta's changed so much that, you know, you can't get away with a style that these individual players got away with 3 years ago in other teams. Astralis, though, are making this one interesting. Bomb drop, pick back up, Device with a second shot not connecting. Olof's getting tagged, the main split's there. That's a big kill from Rain, opening up the top side, but Dupree has not vacated his position. He is waiting for FaZe to come his way, and they will for the trade. Zipnix getting caught on the wrap, and Device tagged up from earlier outside, has to do it all on his own. It might just be a save. He's only got $400.
Yeah, it does not look like he's going to be tempting fate here, but I suppose there's still a chance. Just don't see a world where it makes too much sense. And yeah, he's going to hide behind this box in the ramp room. And ultimately, that's going to give FaZe Clan their first round of the game. Here in round number 7. That puts them up to 6-1. Astralis still the better. And wait we shall. Bomb will explode. Money will go into the bank account of FaZe Clan. One of these teams will get to 16 before the other one. And then before you know that, another map's being played. And another 16 rounds being found by one team rather than the other. And that means that maybe, just maybe, if that was the same team from the first map, then that's the end of the game. And now you know if you're just tuning in for the first time. Sorry I had to be so dramatic, but here we are.
Wow. FaZe on the board, at least. It's got to be a sigh of relief on this T side, not wanting to get swept by Astralis. As Nico just said, the last time these two teams played was back in Beijing. Astralis 16-0'd FaZe, and then followed up to 16-2 them on Nuke. So FaZe have at least found half the rounds that they need to, well, go level with that series, although that's not really what they want. Hoping for a little bit more here. And it doesn't surprise me to see Dust banned in this series as a result of that previous matchup. Now, Device Got the AWP outside. They are going to contact that smoke. No second smoke. Only one for Faze. We're seeing more and more teams do that. Keen to take the fight and catch players like Device off guard who expects a double smoke cross. He does, and he dies with only one. Glaive spotting down lower, gets the information and retreats. Faze, if they want to take this B site, they got to get through a double setup for Astralis. Xyp9x and Glaive looking to force fights. Dupree's climbing up T roof, but I think on B they're going to get aggressive. They walk towards the doors together, just making a lot of noise and getting in the face of Faze. But Faze, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide right now. They might even go up the vents towards A. You can see Olof's coming in through Mini, but Astralis, they've read this. They know exactly what's going on. They're on rotation. Dupree's going to come in through the lobby, and Magist's got a flank of his own.
Oh, Cole knows something's up, but will he anticipate two players here? Third, even in rotation in the form of CsGo. So Cole, only one bullet left. That's all it comes down to. Olof now 1v3, but he does deliver the kill onto the man inside of the site, not able to follow up. And so Astralis will take this 7th round, keeping two players alive, holding onto a Krieg as well.
And a tactical timeout brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. Just in case anyone was out there that they're feeling a little unclear about that one. U.S. Air Force has brought us this.
Take a deep breath.
That does mean that the FaZe clan are going to be trying to reconvene on the issue at hand, which is finding rounds against Astralis on their T side. That's it's been the biggest pickle so far for them.
Yeah, I don't doubt that FaZe, I'm sure, have a really solid CT side on this map. We just haven't got to see it, right? Like, getting swept by Mousesports, you know, you just don't have an opportunity to play that second half. And when you are picking a map, you're often going to start on the T side. Teams will just more often than not pick CT, especially on a map like Nuke. You never see anyone picking T side. So that is a danger of having this as your map pick. And that's why you need a good T side. So Faze, time to step it up here as they come back in with guns. Rain's on a Deagle, AKs and Galils spread across the rest. No AWP for Device, he's taking the Krieg, and he can cover the yard with it from a passive angle. Like Nico said in that interview, you know, Krieg, almost like an AWP at times. It does feel that way. You can just tap, 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 and hit those one-shots from a range, or full spray, and it's pretty easy to control in comparison to the AK. Good grenade from Astralis utility being one of their mainstays. Device is coming on ramp to help his teammate, but he's going to get mollied out of that position towards Hell, and FaZe are given the ramp room.
Oh, but that's a loose term given. It was not so much for free. Instead, it came at quite the cost to FaZe. They lose 3. A nice one tap there from Nico. I don't want to talk too soon, but whenever we see him land little shots like that, usually Nico's got something special up his sleeve.
Yeah, something weird tends to happen after that. But, well, so far that's not been the case. Magist down here on the other side towards Decon. He's going to be the first one to run into Rain. That's not going to go in the way of Rain. However, the trade is there, which does mean that the bomb is going to get grabbed. They're going to head towards upper. Dupree already in the rafters has made the comm and the hit and the shot and everything there in between. Nico falls an 8th one on the board for Astralis, looking like they're back in the saddle. On the road again.
I got the reference.
I didn't know. I wasn't making references, man. Living the moment, living the game.
You love it, you wear it.
Yeah, that's right. And guess where you can do that at, Harry?
That'll be shop.esl gaming. Is it com?
Yeah, that's the one.
It is. I think I've nailed it there.
Wow.
You did good there. Good job.
It's almost like hearing it as often as we do. I should have been able to do it a lot more comfortably. Comfortably. Well, over here towards outside, it's Devis getting shut down there by Rain. Glaive trying to hold it down from atop this little blue box. Does decide that he might fare better on the ground. Hides behind the smokes. In amongst all this madness, Nico has slipped into the back line. In through secret he goes. Rain not quite able to win that fight out onto Glaive, and now we're back into this 4-on-4. But do remember, Nico's down here in the back line, and Astralis don't seem aware of that right now. They haven't rotated a guy down towards B, so Nico's been given a bit of ground to work with here. Now relies on being able to get past CsGo over at the ramp room. If we could see where Nico is just for a second, because I think they're going to open up the door in time with one another. I just wanted to check, and yeah, that's what they're aiming to do. Brokey's going to open this, and that will mask the sound of Nico opening up the lower door. So these players at ramp probably aren't even going to move. They're going to wait for Nico to come in on this flank and try and deal with CsGo. But look, he's so aware. That door opened and no one came out of it, and Astralis are like, That's a weird one. Why have they opened the door? That's why they've opened the door. And now the door is shut on Nico in this round. They go running out towards the ramp, and they're not expecting Glaive here as well. Zipnik's falling as Brokey picks him up, and we're into this 2-on-2, but already the rotations are in for Astralis.
Yeah, dupreeh just outside the double doors should be able to swing him open, kick him down, and then run in and stop a plant. But it is a 2v2. You don't want to play it too risky. Not much time, though, to play with. Coldzera's going to drop into the site. dupreeh, having swung the door open, is going to, I guess, scare him off the plant. He's going to go for it again on the backside of the silo. Just barely gets it down. And above dupreeh is Brokey, in a spot that we see Zonteras play all the time. However, for Coldzera and Brokey, they're very hurt right here. They're just going to take the first peek, and it's not going to matter how hurt Coldzera is. dupreeh shooting Coldzera in the back, but Brokey has the trade. Very low HP and very well done there from the FaZe clan to put 2 up on the board.
That's a massive round. They were a huge disadvantage in that 2-on-4, but getting the instant trades down lower, dropping B, good patience on Cold as well, just to wait that one out. He just sits on the bomb, and Astralis peek into him. He gets a crucial headshot. Brokey trading out for the 1-on-2. FaZe getting back on the board. 2 rounds. Astralis' money is broken. They want to keep up appearances, though, on the CT side. They don't want to let FaZe start to run away with rounds, so they will buy back in. dupreeh on a rifle. Device on a deagle. Not a lot to play with here for Astralis, relying on 1 or 2 players individually to step up and have a multi-kill round. Device looks to do that down lower, and he's got 1, but no follow-up. The spam isn't there. Rain has got the trade. FaZe have got B, and dupreeh looks to put a spanner in the works, but missed shot and his position given away. This is the one gun Astralis really have to play with, and it's got to come up big here for dupreeh. Oh, that's not what you like to see.
Except Nico fans around the world rejoice in another round here for the FaZe clan.
Oof.
Glaive didn't have a chance in hell to get into the control room. Brokey made sure of it. Jumping out the window, jumping in. Zipex on a scout and absolutely no chance in this round. So FaZe clan are going to go up 3 to Astralis' 8.
Yeah, and they should stand to put a couple more on the board, right, before all is said and done. Astralis, they decided to invest into this round. And so as a result, they're going to have no money in the future. 3rd round on the board for FaZe. And a chance to right their wrongs in a pretty big way. You know, like 4 rounds should be locked in as pretty much a guarantee, unless something goes very, very wrong in this round for FaZe clan. Suddenly, you know, 4-8 scoreline, still 3 more rounds left to get played out in the rest of the half. There's a good chance if you're FaZe that you're able to kind of scrape by with the bare minimum, which I would say, you know, you're looking at 5 rounds to kind of accomplish that over here on the T side of Nuke.
You would say.
Yeah, a double force for Astralis.
Yeah, that's ballsy. And this could cost them dearly. If this doesn't work, that's how FaZe can, like, progress to a 7-8 half.
FaZe won't be expecting it, though. I mean, you know, this is could be a bit of a surprise. And if FaZe run the gauntlet very fast, they could get caught up with early rotations for Astralis down lower. Device, there's definitely a gap there for him to exploit. Doesn't want to stand on top of the server. It would show far too much of his body, so he looks for the headshot angle cornered, and the molly pushes him into that spot. The grenade from Olaf might be able to finish the job, but it goes down the stairs. Second molly, that will do it. Nico even fires in the final rounds. And Astralis, I mean, this is where the force feels not worth it, because now you don't have a kit, you don't have a retake scenario, not a viable one at least, and you have to save again. Of course, you can build money around this force, and you're going to get away with 4, so it's okay, but yeah, FaZe are going to start to build rounds here on the T side, and considering this is going to be 4, Astralis still have another eco. Could be 5 for FaZe before we see guns for Astralis.
Yeah, but dupreeh has this Zeus, so you can never really write. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I mean, the reason Astralis have gone for this is because the alternative is they ecoed this round, they lose it, they buy next with a small loss bonus, and they would have like 44, 4,600. That'd be, you know, M4s, armor, smoke flash, you know, deduct a smoke, get a kit on one of the players. It's not a great buy. So what this does do for Astralis, obviously the save is going to help in this, but not even necessary, is they get a force buy round, they get an eco, and by that point, the loss bonus is built up enough that, okay, yes, Faze are at 5, but you have a really good buy and you have device on that AWP, which is a crucial aspect of Astralis' CT side on Nuke. So, yeah, that's the justification there for this force buy, and at least they have saved it. So they get 2 for the price of 1 here. But Faze are going to be more than happy with getting rounds on this T side. Already as many rounds as they got on Nuke versus Mousesports in the entire map, and we're only 13 rounds in, so more time to put the building blocks down for Faze and continue getting on this board.
Oh, that's a free kill for Olaf Meister. Smoke goes into the door in response, but there's a huge gap in that, and Olaf is allowed to peek around it. That's another kill going in favor of Faze. A bit of missed utility there from Astralis. And so now, sat 5-on-3 up, Faze, they know the ball's in Astralis' court to try and make a play to get them back into this round. And so on the back of no pushes coming through, finally they look to try and take the ramp from. And they'll get it in storming fashion. Now they go down towards the B site. Dupree, sure he's here, but he's only got a Deagle to work with. Can he muster anything here as they start to rush him down? Dupree doubling up, but there's the trade from Brokey. And so they've dealt with the danger. It's just Glaive left standing in this 1v3.
Yeah, not a real shot for him to win this round, but he could just die to Olaf right there, and that's exactly what happens.
The old double peek. Not much you can do about it. But here's the buy. Here's what Astralis have been waiting for, right? All the trimmings, the grenades, the kits, the AWP, and everyone bought up. Yeah, you know. I'm not a fan of tomatoes.
Yeah, me either. In fact,
I like that, Trace. I like that about you.
I don't like tomatoes. Get them off my sandwiches. Definitely keep them off my pizza.
Too soggy, man.
Keep them out of my pasta, moreover. Salads, nobody eats those anyway. Who cares?
I'm spoken like a true American.
Yeehaw. Yeehaw.
We hot. And
we hot.
Faze certainly are on this T side, starting to really warm up and get into the groove. Device will take one down, though. Rain's gone early. It's a rapid play for Faze through the Molotov, and that is not going to work. Zipex gets the bomb delivered to his feet, and a flash even to follow. Nico is full white. He has to stall this one out. Cold is gone from the yard, and boom, it's a 1-on-5, just like that. Even with a tag from Device. It doesn't get easier, Nico. It doesn't get easier.
Man, and yeah, Astralis, they put a lot of faith in this buy round when they had everything they needed. And my word, you see why. They managed to get it done, and they get it done flawlessly at that. So 9-5 up and a chance at reaching double digits before the half draws to a close. Round 15 on the cards, and Faze able to fully invest. They don't have an AWP into this round, but that's very much by design. They could have, they chose not to. And so maybe something a little bit faster on the cards here from Faze. Coldzera going to blow the door open and looks to be the first man in. This pace catches the first player off guard, but Magisk has had time to get himself ready here inside of the bomb site. Olaf does deal with one. Magisk not blindsided by Brokey, leaves Olaf in this 1v3 from the squeaky door. Molotov is down, so he's not able to push in just yet. He does have plenty of time. That's the one way in which he's not pressured right now. In every other way, he is being pressured right now. So, Olaf mopping up the first man in. Glaive and Magisk still to find. Drop that smoke, and Magisk even going to aggress into the hut on the back of this. But Olaf, I think he's read all of this well. Yes. Doesn't matter, because Magisk with just 13 HP lands the shot to put a 10th on the board for Astralis. Now 10-5 at the end of this first half. The music's quite jarring, but don't be alarmed. We'll be back after a quick break to continue this series.
the flow, got them coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm unattached. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls, and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Aye.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you wanted, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move, bringing summer to you.
Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know, like I know, we'll take it round and round. Yo, hold up, let me switch my flow up. Back in high school, they were telling me I'll blow up. Doing talent shows and man, everyone would show up. Got in an accident and still made it for them to go nuts. You know what? I'm so what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide in with the rhymes that make the dimes all close their eyes and fantasize. Young divine calling their phone number. No, you know I love you. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats on stages for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young black successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you wanted, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move, bringing summer to you.
Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know, like I know, we'll take it round and round again.
We've got a bit of a serious sloth situation on our hands, and it's Magisk that's helping to deliver some of that. 41.2% headshot percentage. Not exactly the most important stat line, however, the KD is. The rifle kills are, and the impact that Astralis has had over Faze thus far is certainly going to be one that adds up. Magisk at the top of the board, and currently so are Astralis, 10-5 as we look at the second half of Nuke here. We flip the teams over. We flip them around a little bit. We put Astralis over there on the T side. I'm with Hugo Byron and Harry Russell, and we're ready to get this thing back on the road.
Yeah, Dupree's been really, really good this game as well, alongside Magisk. 3-0 in those opening duels, and that's on the CT side. Now with him at the helm of Astralis, going in first, fast, and furious. I can't imagine what we're going to see here in the second half. Rain, quick tap, great shot, bomb dropped in the door, and Astralis have to commit to this A-take, but they've got to go back into the lobby to grab that one. At this point, they're split up, they're stranded, and Dupree's dead alongside Device. It is deja vu. The same thing that Astralis had, or gave to Faze, well, they get it given right back in the second pistol round.
Yeah, Brokey keeps them honest up there in the upper site. I mean, he's just dancing around that silo, gets the 2 kills, does everything that he needs to do in that moment. So good on the young player, the young fragger that is Brokey, that I think technically is still under a sort of trial period with Faze.
Is that the case?
Technically speaking. Now, I don't know for sure, and now only Faze could actually comment on that and clarify, but at least that's what the interwebs tell me.
Yeah, I'd imagine that, you know, at this point, looking to solidify in the roster, I don't see any reason why things would change unless they're not working internally. At least in the server, things seem to be looking good. Brokey, of course, new to this level of play, but has certainly been holding his own inside of this roster. Now, Astralis, full Glocks. I like an A-rush here. 2 players to deal with them. The spray down should be good for Rain, but Astralis, maybe they get a plant, maybe they overwhelm a player with these pistols.
Maybe.
You're looking at ifs and buts, not definitives.
Definitely not looking at any butts around here, Hugo. Because there's nothing but net here for the side of FaZe Clan in this half thus far. Even though, you know, we're looking at just the second round. You can tell Astralis are sitting back here in lobby, not necessarily waiting for pushes, albeit that is what they have to do, but more than likely talking a little bit of strategy over into the next round. They get a bomb plan here, that would help immensely.
Yeah, good luck with that. Unless the bomb gets down the vents, there is a player that's in secret that can rotate fast. That's Nico. But he's seeing if he needs to be, rotating towards main to help out on A, and that's a great time for him. He's just come into this site, and now Astralis about to walk into a triple stack. The grenade does significant damage, and Nico cleans it up. If Astralis went 10 seconds earlier, they would have had a 2-on-5. Instead, they had a 3-on-5, and they will not survive. It's 7 rounds for Faze in the second half as Astralis come in with guns.
Yeah, and now things are going to have a different look to them for the Astralis side. All that waiting around, patience in the last round to discuss this round is over with, and we're going to see what they've come up with. What have they formulated here against the FaZe clan? They're now as CTs, and well, obviously a momentum shift.
Well, in order to field enough utility in this round, Xyp9x hasn't actually bought up head armor behind this AK, so that could be a real liability, especially, with so many FAMASes, MP9s, etc. in play over on this CT side.
By this point, he's already tagged up at least, so I guess that kind of gets negated by that. In some sense, I mean, the MP9 dink at range would not kill him, but it would now.
Oh, bit of damage exchange through this smoke. Nico on the other side. Astralis, they've grouped pretty much everyone up here outside of this, this B site, all except for Xyp9x. He's going to throw a bit more utility in towards this A site as he's feigning this top rush boost over to try and spot Nico. They spot him, but knowing where he is one thing, and using this to your advantage is another. They have him trapped in decon right now. Brokey trying to draw attention away with these ramp peaks, and Nico does win his individual fight onto Magisk. A lot of these players for Astralis are very, very low on health right now. This definitely feels doable for FaZe. It's this lurk of Xyp9x in through Secret that could really throw a spanner in the works in this round. Nico takes another man away, puts us into a 3-on-3. FaZe, they're not in a rush just yet. They do have this kit on Brokey, so they can afford to be patient. And now the push going to come in. Nice. First kill found for Brokey. Device shut down as well. And now just Xyp9x left in the 1v2. Flashbang goes out and they are blind, but just for a moment. And Cold does manage to beat him in the head-to-head. An 8th round on the board for FaZe.
Harry, in that clutch, Xyp9x gets one shot by the MP9 first bullet with no head armor. So he was 50 health, yes. But I still don't think that would have been an insta-kill. There may have been a chance. There may have been an opportunity. And that's why it goes to show that, even the little details do matter. I guess we'll never know what the alternative would be. Brokey, man, what an entry back into the site. He just taps down the player on the ramp with a USP. And FaZe somehow get their retake. I really don't know how. But yeah, delaying it to the last second using the tricks that Mousesports tried against them, well, back against Astralis. Rain dealing with a cross, the spray is in. It's not connecting though. Just about dodged by Magisk, who will get down Secret. Olaf got to deal with the ramp play. Oh dear, he's fully white. And they are pushing the perimeter. Brokey with the AWP. He was a star yesterday for FaZe on this gun, but he hasn't realized that a man has crept by. Oh dear, Device is up close. He is around the corner, and Brokey luckily sneaks off. Not running, but gunning, making noise with the AWP. Device is waiting for his time to strike. Any time is a good time. Brokey is throwing grenades. Oh, and he'll check it. That's unfortunate for Device. Looks away, and that'll be his demise. It's going to be a 9th round to FaZe, getting on this board on the CT side, making it close. It's what Nico predicted. He said that, I mean, we've talked about it. If FaZe don't 2-0, they get 2-1, it feels, a lot of the time. So they're looking for another close series.
Always on the lookout for the 2-1s. Ever-present threat in the side of FaZe clan. Happened again last night. Imagine that.
They can't seem to shake it, man.
Everybody's got their demons, Harry.
Ooh, and in this round, Nico's demon looks a lot like a guy called Magisk. And, maybe there's a bit of a connection there. He gets the drop over towards outside.
All right.
And Astralis starting to sneak through Secret once again. This time they've got to get past Rain, playing this vent position. Holds his own for one, is able to get away despite getting dinked there through the corner of the vent. And Rain is getting the hell out of there. He doesn't want anything to do with these Astralis boys down on B. Instead, he's going to leave that to his good friend Olaf, who sets himself up over here ramp side. Now, Bomb looking to get across on the back of this smoke, and it will get planted by Glaive. As he gets tagged out of the bomb site, he retreats. It's a 4-on-4 retake for FaZe. They were able to get this done in the last round in similar odds. But this time, they're like a long way away. They're very, very worried about flanks coming in late, and that's not the case. FaZe, I don't think they're going for it. This is looking like a save.
Yeah, money is there for FaZe, surprisingly enough, but they want to keep building it, or rather keep theirs intact, knowing they could be just throwing away these AKs that AWP, considering Rain is low. So Astralis, they do get the conversion on the lowest site, 11-9. Their first round on this T half as well. Comes down to a save for FaZe in a 4-on-4. Don't see that every day.
Yeah, and the weird part is, looking at this stat at least, you think about how dominant Astralis was on this map of Nuke for the longest time. And I think there was even a Reddit thread about it not long ago. It's like, oh, you know, things I never thought I would see was a ban of Nuke from Astralis, which is you know, it is kind of weird to think about. But, you know, time's kind of like a flat circle, Harry.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, why not?
Digest that, I guess.
All right,
yeah, I tried to break that one down like a flat circle.
Okay. Well, I know you've seen the movie, so, you know. Anyways.
Wow. I don't even get the reference on this
Yeah,
one. I don't think there was a reference. And Nico, I thought he was going to get more, and it was going to be really exciting. But actually, he just gets traded right away by Dupree. So Rain coming in, keeps it in the advantage of FaZe, narrowly so.
Tisk, tisk.
Not a movie, Trace, it's a TV show. But don't worry, points for trying.
What?
I googled time is like a flat circle and it came up with True Detective. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Anyways.
Back to the action.
Please.
This is a big flank from Magisk, and he's gotten past Brokey. This is huge. FaZe could lose this round off the back of it, but a missed shot. The bomb dropped in the site. How on earth does that miss? Magisk had the drop, and now he's going to get dropped. Device left alone. The bomb, like I said, falling from the heavens into A. And surely no way to retrieve this round. He's got 3 CTs to get back into the site. Flash into the A main, but he's been forced out with 20 seconds. This one is as done as it gets. Just looking to save his AK. Oh dear, Magisk is going to be kicking himself. If only he killed Rain on that CT vent, would have been an opener into A with a disadvantage for Astralis equalized. Instead, it's Device saving the AWP. That's something at least for the next round here for Astralis, but it is going to be FaZe, again, keeping things close. 10 rounds. They go 4-0 up on this CT side. Astralis get a round. It is instantly responded to.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, right, when we came into this second half, it was 10-5 in favor of Astralis. So this is quite the turnaround from FaZe to be just 1 round behind that of the Danes. Oh, but Device wins the head-to-head over here towards outside. He's looking to keep that gap nice and wide as he gets down through Secret. Nico actually going to get tagged by that smoke. And I wonder, Magisk, did his ears hear that one? Definitely. Oh, well, it certainly looks like it, right? With how quick he's able to deal with Nico there. And now for Rain, it's a bit of an awkward spot. He wants to see if anyone arrived in through Secret, and he gets his information. He knows he's lucky to still be alive on the back of that peak. Oh, Cole has an inkling and has more than that as he does secure a frag onto Xyp9x, surviving with 5 points of health. Still kicking. Bomb is dropped all the way back outside of lobby. That's something to bear in mind for Astralis. Glaive's going to go back and try and retrieve it. there's Astralis players everywhere. This is a very odd round. If they go to A, there's only coldzera there on 5 points of health. That's very, very beatable. But that's not where this looks like it's going to end up. They've taken ramp control. They've got Device still over in the garage. And now maybe with that kill onto coldzera, maybe we see the A commitment now.
What a wrap for Astralis. Outside to hell, to ramp, to lobby. They basically go round the world to kill Cold. They circle him, and he is stuck alone on that top site. Not for long, he's put in the grave, and now down below, as are the remaining players of FaZe on this B bomb site. They're going to hear the bomb get planted on upper glaive, putting it down for heaven as well. So Astralis, they have the post plant available. Dupree's in that position.
You know, Harry, you brought up an interesting point. I think it was you. You were talking about tower defense and sort of like a relevance here to the game itself. Now, that strat that you're outlining here, at least the idea in this round, is something that could certainly play into effect. Not many teams could even attempt something like that, or even make those calls mid-round and not go down 3 players just before they even get to the bomb site. So Astralis looking real good, looking damn good in this round. They're going to go up to 12.
Oh, wow. Rain gets dinked through the metal pole.
R.I.P. Okay. Tries to survive. Sometimes that's all you can do. 12 to 10. Astralis in the lead in a very big way. And we see Cold dropping an AWP over into the hands of Brokey. Bit of a round of applause for coldzera there as he drops the AWP over, and in doing so downgrades himself onto a FAMAS. So taking a hit for the team.
Yeah, someone's got to do it. And Astralis, they might be doing it. 12 rounds on this T side. They got 2.5 so far. Back on the buy. AWP is back in heaven here for FaZe. Nico controlling the garage. Olof's actually going to find the first blood on this round, taking down Xyp9x on ramp. Think through the smoke as well. Yeah, it was all the way through that one into radio. There's a gap there. Olof is looking to hang around. Doesn't want to push, though, and give away a kill in a 5-on-4. FaZe have a great advantage. And what is this rotate from FaZe? They're moving 2 players towards ramp. Now, I imagine this is set up towards lower to move into the secret position, or the B site, rather. Resmoke is going to cut Device out of this position for the time being. We do see Nico, who came to join on the ramp room, drop towards B. Being loud about it, making the glass break. Device is waiting out the smoke so he can get a ramp pick. Astralis desperately need this AWP to find a kill. That's what they're banking on in this round. If Device can get an opener towards ramp, then Astralis can split down towards B, and there it is. Dupree actually takes a kill, dinked in the process, but a kill's a kill. Brokey shows his position by throwing a Molotov, but won't commit to fighting down towards ramp. Astralis have to wait out that molly before they hit lower. Instead, they just smoke it and drop down below. Rain's already here. And we know Nico went on an earlier rotate, so he's actually outside in the secret. He can come down and join Rain, but there's nothing to be joined. Device finding that opening kill with the AWP, and Astralis all over B. Nico probably annoyed that he rotated out at this point, because FaZe no skin in the game, no stake in this round, and still with Magisk inside of the door, he can cut off any rotations down lower, except for Nico, who might have his number here.
Yeah, let's see how this pans out, because Nico just coming through this lobby a little bit late. Obviously, a lot of time ticking off the bomb. It does look like a save, all things considered. So, that's going to be an AWP. Potentially a FAMAS and M4 also in this round. There you go. Astralis are going to go up to 13. To the 10 of FaZe. It is a good sign, though. We do see Brokey coming out playing his A game again today, so that's kind of nice.
Device is hunting. He's even looking above the boxes. That is, in fact, where a player sits, but he won't go wide enough to find the kill, knowing he'd likely get traded if he shot his AWP off. And there it is, tactical timeout called by FaZe, brought by the US Air Force into this CT side. They've used 2 so far. Pressure's really on. Look at the money of FaZe. They might have to take this eco and give away 14 to Astralis. That is the safe call to make here, of course. But what that does mean is, assuming FaZe lose all their players in this round, right, and they keep 2K, it means their next round buy isn't actually going to be that good. It isn't going to feel the AWP unless someone either takes a hit, goes glass, or has no utility. And so the pressure is on FaZe to either, you know, win this round with eco, of course, or save this AWP in back-to-back rounds if they want it against Astralis, against 14.
Check out this EPL mailbag, fellas. Now, I'm not going to say that we know the answer to this because, well, guess what? We don't. But we can speculate.
Yeah. Well, do you want to take it?
Nah,
Or shall I
man,
take it?
you got
Hey, well,
this,
okay,
you
so
go.
they picked it versus Mousesports. Mousesports, I mean, we made the claim earlier that, or I made the claim earlier that I think Mousesports are the best nuke team in the world right now. So that certainly helps. This has been a mainstay of Faze's map pool as of late. They've been playing it a lot. It's their most played map this year, with the exception of Dust. And they've got a great conversion rate on it as well, 80% win rate on this map. So, you know, you gotta have belief in your own map pool, even if you get wrecked on it from time to time. There's no point shying away from what you feel is your best pick. And honestly, this is the best pick from Faze, I think, in this series against Astralis. Cold dinked early though.
Oh, meaty kill for Glaive to find down here on the lowest site. And now, yeah, honestly, this is probably just a save for Faze, like, immediately. You kind of have a lot more to lose than to gain for giving this a look in. So they retrieve the M4, and Rain's probably going to scamper up that ladder.
Ooh, that hit.
That was...
All right. Back. All right, then.
It's not quite the Zywoo
Yeah, I was going to
reverse
say,
wallbang
yeah.
kill with the AWP.
No scoping,
Yeah.
jumping up on the box, just kills a man in vent.
Now, this is okay for Faze, right? This round's lost, whatever, accept it at this point. But you have got that AWP drag forward, and that was the point coming into this round, right? Faze, if they lost this AWP, they wouldn't have been able to rebuy it. So holding on to that AWP does provide it against 14, but that's the crucial part, right? Astralis are up to 14. They're just 2 away from taking away Faze's pick in this series.
Plus, like, another scary thing is, you know, 4 of the last 5 rounds have just been these saves from Faze. And I think that's quite telling of how this has ended up shaping up. You know, early on, they find a lot of success. And now, the game's just been decided based on, you know, in this round, literally 1 kill coming in onto Nico, then planting B. And obviously, they didn't have much to go on. So it's not a great round to look at for that kind of benchmark. But you think about how these other rifle rounds have panned out, like the one prior to last, where they did just have to hold on to 3 players with weapons. And Nuke is never really a map that ends up feeling like an Inferno or like a Dust 2 so often, where you have these saves, right? The points of rotation on this map are very, very fast. You've got Vent, you've got Ramp, and you've got Secret. You can get from the upper site to the lower site in a matter of seconds through some of these positions. So these save calls aren't that common, and usually it's because you do a kind of a bit of a better job of getting the trades early, you know, really forcing Astralis to work this map control. And instead, Astralis has just been winning every gunfight heads up and then just playing fast off the back of it.
Yeah, this is annoying for Faze as well, right? Another bit of deception for Astralis. The smoke's outside, Magist crosses behind them, and he doesn't want to tell Brokey how many players are here, so he just mollies them off. There is a counter molly, but Magist hits a timing and goes through it. They're going to hit topside off this kill. Faze might be gambling lower in a lot of scenarios, but they haven't fallen for it. Brokey is still B, of course, but Faze haven't moved anyone else down, and that's very smart of them to do so. Astralis are trying to play with the minds of Faze. There are 2 players on this top side, or rather there were. Nico has just moved away. There's another man in main though. Rain comes through the smoke, and he doubles down at the vent. Goodbye, Magist. Rain's on a 3rd before he's eventually finished off. A man on top of the hut can save this round for Faze though, despite Rain's absence. Zipex in the clutch with a chance, but a spray missed, and that will be his opportunity whiffed. Faze with 11.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Astralis certainly still in this financially, though, so that's not at the priority list. The priority list would be putting themselves up on 15, then subsequently winning the round as well, the next one after that.
Nice dive.
Yeah. Moment of brilliance, even.
2
And
away.
we're off. Yeah, just 2 away, as Hugo Byron said. That is Hugo Byron, Hugo Byron.
Took you a second.
Well, from Alabama, you know, spell, math, none of that stuff really equates. So, anyway, Magist's going to go ahead and cross into Secret with this wall of smokes, which certainly should help to do something out here for these guys.
I like this call from Astralis because, right, last time they throw 1 player down here, now they throw everyone, or almost everyone. So, yeah, you know, Faze just keeping them on their toes.
And this has been the bread and butter of Astralis' T side. This is how they found the majority of rounds, is in this lower B site, on the back of aggression, split between the ramp room and Secret, and that might be what they try and return to here. Now, a bit of a spanner in the works with Nico and Cold pushing into main. This has really narrowed down the options for Faze as to where Astralis can be. This is all also because Rain is holding down the B site. He hasn't seen anyone push forward yet. And so now, if you're Faze, you've cleared lobby, you're holding B, you start to realize, well, they smoked off outside. We don't have anyone watching it, so we got to care for this heaven wrap. And that's something that Faze are now very attuned to. There's a lot of players looking this way. And that looks like a decision Astralis were looking to make until just moments ago. Suddenly this bomb on the back of Glaive looks to join the players down here at B, but maybe that kill onto Magisk changes the flow of things in this round.
Dupree was trying to fake that heaven play that you talk about, Harry, by throwing in flashes, but they're not going to fall for it. He comes through hell, and Brokey takes him down. Astralis still want to commit to the A site with Rain, showing what he can do on that B site, and Nico is just going to slaughter them coming through A main phase with 12 and 5 alive. They are really building an economy, and that is a worrying factor for Astralis, who don't have any of their own on, I just looked at Zipex because he's got 2K. Everyone else has 6,000, so it's okay for the time being. But yeah, I mean, Astralis, running out of options there. Like you say, faking the top site, trying to go B, failing to go B, back up to A, Nico mops them up. So tactical timeout for Astralis, a break in the action while they try and work out the winning formula. What is the Krabby Patty recipe here for them, Trace?
You know, I'm not entirely sure, but a Krabby Patty, I don't even know if that sounds good in the first place. So perhaps, just perhaps, they say, okay, guys, we can get secret control. Maybe we're getting beat up and upper a few times we go there, but you know, where do we take this? That's the real question, right?
I want to see what they just did in the previous round, but more focus on committing to the heaven wrap, right? Like get Dupree up into that position. Of course, Faze were watching for it, but when you're on that A site, if you don't have 3 players and you're getting split mini, door, hut, upper, like that's going to be really problematic for Faze. And those are the situations where Astralis typically come out on top. So they are going to pressure outside again. Run boost? Is that a run boost? Are they dropping on Magisk's head? Oh my god, off the silo and into the orb. Brokey is ready for it.
How is he ready for that? That's not even an angle that exists. And like he looked like he was pre-aiming it, like, yeah, so when Dupree flies around the corner at 19,000 feet, I am ready. I am waiting. I am Brokey. And here he is down towards hell, looking out for a play that might be coming his way. Magisk trying to take heaven, but Coldzera doesn't often miss these. Is holding the angle. Magisk. Whoa! Someone's gonna win, and it's Magisk in the end. I don't know how. I don't really know why, but that's how it goes down.
Please, Bastion, if you could take a look and tell us how many times Coldzera hit him through the wall. I would love to know. But eventually, Magisk does fall. Just Zipex and Glaive. Already on low HP. Not low on time just yet. But they do have the bomb in hand. They have complete control, and I say that Nico's going to find a kill with the AK from outside, all the way from over the side of Secret. Not going to suspect Zip here either. 1 on 3.
Oh, he's trying to bait the orb shot. He knows it's on him, but he does get up the ladder in time. That being said, 2 players from Faze here, and time is the problem. 20 seconds as he tries to find his way out of this heaven position. A wide angle. Oh, the flash forces a turn, but Olaf turns right back for the kill. 13 for Faze. And Astralis might be on their last legs here. They have gone quiet, stone cold in this CT side. What a shot from Brokey. I love that idea from Astralis, though. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, right? Like, Faze commonly run Brokey into heaven with the orb. That's standard. Oh, my. Look at the blood. Look at this.
That's ridiculous.
And Magisk just stands still like nothing's happening.
Unbelievable. Down to 19 HP. And Shirley Cole is like, what?
You what? But yeah, that run boost for Astralis is such a cool way of getting a player really, really far, really, really fast. And talking of which, Zipnix does the same in this one, dropping down the vents with Glaive. That's a bomb on B. Do Faze have a rotation in time? They do. Nico's here and can lay down the pain. That's a round done.
That it is. FaZe Clan fans rejoice. We're looking at a tie game at 14-14, almost the full 30. Stopping a bomb plant in the lower site, what was a vent bomb. Now Device 1v5 with a Deagle. No armor, no bomb, no grenades, nothing else to do. We'll play the round out.
Yeah, and unless he's able to, you know, like get 2 or 3, really like 3 kills in this round for Astralis, it's not really going to even do anything to the FaZe economy. Instead, Nico cements it with 4. Continuing to top the charts here for the FaZe Clan side, as now they tie us up 14 all. Buy round on the card. No warps in sight. AKs across the board. Maybe going to be a faster play here. Now, they only could have got an AWP glass cannon. So this is kind of just more of a sign of the times and the economy for Astralis than anything else. Brokey does have his big green gun, though. And he's taking it over here towards the door. He thought the door was broken. As it turns out, the door was not broken. But Brokey still waiting for players to come his way, holding this tight angle into hut. Not going to get too much action over towards A, at least not yet. It's the close main smokes dropped for Astralis, and now that bomb heads back.
Baby.
Glaive going to spam down Nico over in the garage, and they can use these smokes to cross both into main and into garage. You can play pretty reactively based on where you find these engagements now if you're Astralis.
What an annoying round for Nico. He is the top in the server, and he just got smoke spammed in round 29 at 14-14. Now, that is a very common spot for players to peer through the garage smoke. So Astralis, knowing what is likely going to be the play made by Faze, and Nico commonly in the garage. So again, the tendency showing through for Astralis as they take down the top performer of the opposition. And here's what I've been waiting for, a heaven wrap. This is going to be successful. There's no one here. There's no one ready to stop them. They've got players on the site, but Cold is the first line of defense, and he is so far away from this position. There's players right below Heaven on A. Olof's playing timing as well. Cold is going to be able to spot this. But Dupree's coming in on the ramp room. It's a split, it's a fake, and it's a backstab for Astralis. Rain doesn't even turn. He knows they're coming. He hears the footsteps, but he gets bullets fired in the back of his head. Astralis all over the lower site. What a conversion. What a call. And B is now theirs.
Oh, and Dupree continuing to lay down the pain, trying to cement it with 4. Isn't able to overcome Brokey. And truthfully, Astralis have more to lose than from gaining in this chase. They do manage to drop the AWP pretty quickly. So kind of forget everything I just said.
All right.
Shouldn't be too hard. I don't really say much. 15-14, Astralis reaching that point. But this could have overtime written all over it. A US Air Force tactical timeout called in here.
Nico is FaZe Clan's best player on Nuke with a 1.27 rating, 45 KD difference across 10 maps. So, I'd say I'm pretty impressed. Now, what can you do in this round?
Don't get smoke spammed. Avoid all smokes. Don't try and walk through them. Don't try and one-way them. Because Astralis are ready. They're waiting on the other side. And Glaive certainly was in this round. He may have 9 kills, but that opening frag in the previous was the crucial one, was the one that pushes Astralis to 15. An excellent fake. They make it look like they're taking upper by going through the heaven. They have players in lobby spamming hard and denying aggression from Faze. And then out of nowhere, despite the double ramp setup for Faze, Astralis, they double back. They take hell, and they absolutely bring hell to Faze, who do have money at least to make this an overtime bonanza. Will that be the case for our first map of the series?
Sure as hell smells like it, Harry. Dupree on top of the silo outside. Gonna drop of Astralis will be out here. Looks like some set smokes getting aligned. A wall even. And 3 smokes. They're gonna drop a Molotov there towards Secret just to cover their advance.
Oh, what a play. They can't even see him.
Device can though. Sees him right through the scope. Nico falls. He's out of the round.
It's a good kill though. Magist going down is Astralis' top performer, so getting a bite back of the action from Nico. Rain is looking for a fight as he's fade, and that's great timing. He gets a kill. Teammate not able to trade as Dupree finds Cold Zero. Dig down in the process. They got him cornered. Device tries to kill him, and Rain fires off 2. Zipnik's now in the clutch. We know what he can do. He's found the first, but the bomb is stuck in the yard. Smoke to try and cross. Flash as well. Gets close, but there's already a man in the credit card, and he has got his number. Olaf Meister sends us to overtime. It's the first map of the series, and boy, is it delivering.
Yeah, it certainly has. This is a moment that has certainly given us everything that we could have expected and moreover looked forward to in this series. You think about this best of 3, you think about FaZe versus Astralis, and you think about just the lineage behind these two teams, what they've accomplished individually. Now you look at them here in the server, playing from the confines of their home, but on the EPL Season 11 Stage 2. So, or will they carry it after this? That's the real question, Harry Russell. That is what we want to know.
Oh, look at this. Fast change of pace from Astralis heading into overtime. And might be a change of pace, but it's not a change in result. They get mowed down here. Heading into the A-bomb site. More damage coming through. Rain knows no bounds. And Olaf going to delete Dupree. Now leaves Device in the hot seat. 1v5 required. He's got 20,000 angles to worry about, and there's one of them. Cold Zera does get deleted. But Device still needs 4 more. And that might be one bridge too far here for this man. Hoping, trying to get a kill on the board. Olaf going to take position up on top of the hut, just to draw the attention in. In amongst all of this, Nico is wrapped all the way around. Gonna try and pincer Device here with Rain, but Nico isn't even needed. 3 kills for Rain, a 16th round for Faze, and 19. That's the magic number we're looking for here on the Faze clan side. Or any side, actually. Just both, 1st to 19. That's how that works.
What if it's 19-19, Harry?
Well, that would mean we headed into a second overtime, Hugo. And if that happens, we're looking at 22 rounds.
But then after that?
After that, we're looking at 26 rounds on the board.
But what if we go one step further, Harry?
In that case, then you'd be looking for the full 30, Trace, I think.
So that's basically another map stacked on top of this map, but it's the same map. Wow.
He's broken it down there. He's done something.
Let's brokey this round in. How about that?
Yeah, no more run boosts here for Astralis. Brokey is ready for them. I want to see that used again, maybe against a team that doesn't run the AWP in heaven every single round, but...
Yeah, but he is watching this outside. He says,
yeah,
you know, you can cash me there if you want.
How about that?
How about that?
Astralis crawling behind these smokes can go anywhere they please. They're going to drop down lower through Secret. Brokey spots nothing going up above. Nico playing the gap, the angle. He's got a bit of info and he throws a Molotov down. Grenades can't follow, but Astralis are passive in this position. Nico intends to do the same. No kills in this round just yet. But Nico's looking for his first.
Are they going to try this boost again? They are, but they've done it once before, and that means Nico is ready and raring to go. However, Magisk, when the going gets tough, Magisk gets going. Device comes in with a kill onto Olaf. And somehow, some way, Astralis have taken a man advantage. Now, Faze, 3 on 4. If this was regulation, that'd be saving. But money is not a problem for Faze Clan right now. They're definitely going to try and give this one a go.
Do or die. They've already got a round on the board, but Device is going to strip away this one from the hands of Faze, not giving them an opportunity or an option into this retake. Second is successful for Device, 3rd in the round, and he's looking for a 4th. Brokey, nothing to do. Nothing to do it with. At this point, maybe playing for stats is the play, but he's going to try and sneak in. No time for a Ninja, so just backing on out. There's a ramp lurk. Magisk is coming in through the lobby. But again, like I said, it doesn't matter. Money isn't a problem. Money isn't a thing in 16K MR3, luckily enough. So Faze can buy till the cows come home. And they're mooing.
Yeah, straight up. Speaking of which, here's another tidbit for you all. I suppose I could read it, but I don't want to insult your intelligence. You get the gist of it, though. We move forward here in overtime. In the last round of the first half OT, at least. What kind of tricks do Astralis have up their sleeve right here? Nico looking to be a nuisance in the outside, perhaps even grabbing himself some kills. He's going to have him line up for him, too. However, Dupree is just way too quick for Nico. Imagine that.
That's a big entry for Astralis. This might be them finding 17 in the T side. 2-1 would certainly be nice. Going to continue through the smoke. His entire team following him as well. One man waiting in the lobby. Xyp9x is low, so he'll just hang around. Rain's got a good angle. He's covered from the outside position. They can walk behind him, but uncommon to do so. So he's ready for the garage play. Which side do they come through, though? Cold Zero waiting, they're spamming his position. Great flash from doors. Zipix sets up just for a kill, and Rain gives away his position for damage. Gets one. Trade is in. Device there with the AWP has really come alive in overtime here. Brokey pushed back, and he can't finish the job. Olaf has to do it on his own. They don't know, and they almost line up. The Deeg is out, the plant is in, and Olaf has to win a 1-on-2.
Oh, that nade is huge. Both these players in the 1 realm now, and Olaf here looking to wield this Deagle to effect. They both hold beneath for the drop. Olaf, how on earth is he expected to navigate this one? This is there's the ult, mate. Have it. Take it.
Oh,
take the ult. Take it. But you're not taking Olaf.
Wow.
He gets the clutch done.
We call that the simple.
WTF. My goodness, what a play there. Throws his op, gets the Deagle shots off. Absolutely gross.
Wow, what a half of overtime. What a game we got on our hands, guys. And to think this is the first map of what, at this rate, I'm expecting and hoping and praying is a 3-mapper. With all the rounds and more. The bonus ones are here, and they're here to stay. We've got another half here as Faze switch over to the T side. They had a real trouble getting on the board to start on this half. It took them some time. So that can't afford to happen in what could be just a 3-round half. If Astralis sweep the floor, we'll find out.
Wow. What a round. What a play from Olaf.
Still got it.
Still does.
Even in tricky situations, he manages to make it look so simple. Now, Nico and Rain pushing on up behind Red Box. Gonna try and get some presence over here towards outside. Bit of a spam from Glaive, and there is a connection onto Nico. Look at this, conga line of FaZe Clan players. Oh, well, that never happens in most conga lines, but yeah, this one. Oh dear, that was the bomb as well. And they've left a gap in the smoke. Are they gonna have to waste another? Oh, oh. Oh, you feel for Cold Zero, who decides to be the man to take the hit and get on out, but he does get the bomb. He's been able to retrieve it. 4-on-5 now for FaZe. They've got players down towards B, and Olaf waiting at the ramp, looking like they want to try and split this B bomb site.
TikTok on the clock, 40 seconds here for FaZe to get a plant in. And look at the setup for Astralis. 2 players already inside of the site. A 3rd on ramp. They'll have to deal with the lurk that is Olaf Meister in this round, coming in through that position. Magiska's hanging around. He is spotting heavily as well. Ooh, timing. Did he see? I think he did. He's got the info, goes back for the fight. Olaf with the Krieg will say goodnight. 20 seconds, FaZe still need this plant. All 4 kills, but that seems less likely at this point. The fights are in down lower, and Glaive does get a kill. He's doubled it. He's dropped the bomb. 15 seconds. Olaf's got to hunt. He's got to run and get this plant. There's no way Glaive is going to give him the kill. He's already run away from the package. He's already run for the hills as Olaf desperately looks to pick this one back up. 5 seconds, it's done. It's a 17th round for Astralis. Nothing presenting itself for Olaf. He even throws his Krieg away to avoid Astralis killing him and taking that, knowing he can rebuy it no matter what. That is a smart play.
I think he ended the round with no weapon, right?
You know,
I mean, obviously with the money confines of
Literally,
overtime.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
I get that. There's something jarring about, you know, the end of the round. You don't have a weapon.
It was just more like he threw his Krieg. He didn't want Astralis to push him after time, kill him, and then get that gun, right? Like, they have none on the CT side. They have an AK on Dupree, but FaZe is trying to limit what Astralis can pick up moving forward. And now, what could be the final 2 rounds, or what could be the 2 rounds that send us to 6 more rounds. That's how overtime works. Oh, dear. That's certainly missed smoke.
Nah, mate, that's going to clip through the wall.
Calculated.
Dupree, yeah, over here. He still has full vision. Molotov for the top of the hut, but Dupree's just chuckling in the face of danger. In the meantime, though, FaZe, they've gone away from A, and towards ramp they go. Device and Zipex have to try and hold the fort, and this man has looked good at the ramp. It's another spray down from Zipex to make this round doable. 2 kills now. Astralis with the man advantage in a very big way. And Zipex is still hungry for a little bit more. Still fighting. Device holding for the rotation. Glaive going to catch Olaf over here outside. Cold Zera looking for this trade. Better late than never on to Zipex, but it never comes through. And instead, he holds down ramp single-handedly. This man is the ramp king for Astralis, and he's going to put them on map point.
Worth noting, of course, the kills are all Zipex is there, but Device throws a clutch Molotov from hell that lands in the bottom of ramp. So as Faze fall into Zipex's crosshair, not only do they fall into the flames that burn their health down, but also their view gets completely, shut off as well. Those flames have smoke inside of them, and that can, make seeing pretty difficult, as smoke often does. 18 rounds to Astralis, one more will send us to the second map of Overpass, the pick of the Danes as they look to 2-0 this series. But don't count your chickens before they hatch, because Faze still have another round in them.
Or at least a round to try for. Brokey Company. Brokey and Company Limited. At least in this round. Money not the issue as we are in overtime, so we're going to see what the boys from Faze Clan have cooked up in the kitchen. Rain dropping the smoke outside early on. Not the only one either. We're going to see two other ones follow it. But the hit's not there. Nobody from Faze is outside right now. They're looking with their eyes set towards inner, potentially upper, if not crashing down the vids. Olaf's going to get smoked out of Squeaky, so buys a little bit more time for Astralis.
Yeah, you saw Cold lining up the hot Molotov there as well. But as we noted, with a bunch of players heading over here towards ramp, this is just to keep the attention of Astralis over here towards B. And now the utility goes in toward this A site. Dupree finds the opener, but Nico trades. However, it's all back and forth. Cold and Olaf left to try and keep Faze in this one, and Cold has done it with that kill onto Magis. That allows the bomb plant to come in. Faze trying to claw their way back to another OT, but Device up in heaven gets revenge onto Olaf, and now just Cold's error, but the first kill does present itself. Device, 1v1, and the nade gets it done. Onto the defuse, and Astralis.
Device!
The VM.
Are we in the kitchen right now?
Oh, baby! He's going back. He's already dead! Device, leave him alone! Astralis, they're going to take this map. He's gone back in. Leave him alone, Device. Come on, man. 19 rounds for Astralis, and they get it done.
Wow.
They take Faze's map, pick a nuke. They go 1-0 up in this series. And now things are looking good for the Danes. Faze, they've got to try and fight back on Overpass. Can they get it done? Or will it be the Astralis 2-0? Find out after a quick break.
Never let you double cross them. Moving through the city like it's Gotham.
I'm ruthless, I've proved this. Keep capping, I'ma leave you toothless. You're so dumb to choose this. Ain't gone outside, I make it work. I'm in my bag, that's every purse on my back. Is that your girl? She got it. She make it twerk. And why you mad? I got her first. You say you rap, you got a verse. I say the swag, you probably hurt. Back to the lab, you gotta search. On my country commando. Pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my tent. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, improve it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, improve it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it.
Why are these boys so stupid? Counting me out now, I'm counting my money. I'm probably gonna cop me a new wrist. Y'all gonna think I'm a nuisance. New sound knew me, who this? Yep, I made some improvements. Me and the gang been bowling. Your shawty gon' think we the coolest. Alizé say we got clips. We bout to make it a movie. I make a hit I can't miss. Damn, the charts might sue me. The way I be